this next sequence, we're going to cover foot targets. And foot targets are one of the first behaviors that we create with puppies. So we've talked a lot about building the tools we're going to use to create behavior before we actually start creating behavior. But when we actually start on our first sets of obedience behaviors, the foot targets is usually one of the first ones we approach. We do that because it's very simple, super black and white. It doesn't require a lot of coordination. We can begin to teach this with puppies at almost any age, right? I can start with an 8, 9, 10-week-old puppy and begin to teach foot targeting, depending on how well they're doing with their luring and their communication system and their motivation and focus and engagement.
And so now she takes that puppy and she wants to teach it to put its feet on that bucket. So she lures it straight over and up and onto the bucket and says yes. So it's exactly the same motion you were just making. Yes.
It is a very straightforward behavior, and we use it as sort of the initial learning to learn part of our training system. The dogs are learning to make a connection between their behavior and reinforcement. And we started that with engagement, rewarding the dogs for paying attention to us, but this is the first time we're asking the puppy to be kind of actively try to do something to get a reward. And the foot targets are nice because of their simplicity. The other reason we use foot targets is that we fade these over time. You'll notice when we begin this exercise, we start with an elevated target. We use livestock feed bowls flipped upside down because they're stable, they don't slide around, they don't make any noise, and they're relatively inexpensive and durable. And it's easier to teach your dog to put their feet on something that's elevated than it is a flat target, because it feels very obvious to them when they're on it versus off it. Or if I'm trying to teach my dog to put their feet on a flat target right from the beginning, the flat targets, the dog could have one foot on and one foot off, and it doesn't feel radically different to the dog. And so in the early stages, we use an elevated target, and as we go, we'll fade that target to flat. And we do this in some of our obedience videos in the future. But with a puppy, we just use the raised targets and teach the beginnings. This target work we eventually segues into a whole bunch of other obedience exercises. We use this for sendaways in obedience. We use it for directional cues in AKC obedience. We use it for pivoting on the target in preparation for aspects of healing. We use it for our initial stay work when we're teaching the dogs to stay. We can use it when faded to flat for distance positions to hold the dog in one place at a distance. We can use it for troubleshooting fronts. And so we're continue to find kind of endless uses for the foot target behavior. And so in this next set of sequences, you're going to see us introducing puppies to the beginning stages of the foot target.